Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And some of you probably thought about starting your very own sports podcast. Well, let me help you out. I want to tell you a little bit about Anchor. Now, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's an easy way to make a podcast, and it's free. You don't have to worry about paying a bunch of money each month. There are creation tools to allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so you don't have to worry about that. So it can be heard on apps like Spotify and Apple Podcasts and many, many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. So go to anchorfm.com and start your very own podcast today. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Hey, what's going on, world? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, and this is another edition of the Unapologetic Podcast, episode 2. Thank you very much for tuning in, and thank you very much for checking out the podcast. And if this is your first time, I really do appreciate it. Before I get started, I want to let you all know that the Unapologetic Podcast is brought to you by M4D3Customs.com. Now, I know a lot of people, y'all probably see me on social media. You probably see me with my special design tennis shoes on. You know, I'm always coming through with the different color unapologetic shoes. And you're probably wondering to yourself, where TJ get those from? Well, M4D3 Custom is the place that I get them, man. M4D3. It's a place, man. They do real good quality work. You know what I'm saying? You put your order in. You don't have to take forever in order for your shoes to get here, man. They do shoes, they do slippers. So any type of design that you have, man, you can be your own individual, man. So check out M4D3Customs.com and, you know, let them know that TJ sent you. Well, this is episode 2 of the Unapologetic Podcast. And I have to be honest with you folks. I didn't think that I was going to be doing the show alone, but it is what it is. You know, I just wanted to bring back the Unapologetic Podcast because I wanted to do things differently. Some of you probably seen Unapologetic Podcast before, and you know, I have to be honest with you, it wasn't some of my best work because it wasn't genuine, it wasn't true, it wasn't passionate. You know what I'm saying? I was just doing it because of everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to do something that I felt like everybody wanted to see, and it wasn't really me. You know what I'm saying? I was talking about topics and situations I cared absolutely nothing about. I cared nothing about any of the subjects that I was talking about. I mean, it was pretty sad stuff, man. And honestly, I couldn't stand it. You know what I'm saying? I really couldn't stand it. And I thought I was going to do the show alone, but here comes my homeboy. Hey, Smitty, what's going on, man?
Man, what's up, bro?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, man, we live right now too, man.
Oh, man.
You came in just in time, man. Hey, man. Hey, I just promoted the sponsors and everything like that, so we just get started.
For sure.
Hey, man, how you doing, though, man?
Oh, man, good, man. Trying to stay safe out here.
Yeah, no doubt, man. For those that don't know, man, Smitty, this is my best friend right here, man. We've been hanging tough since 2005. God, dog. 2005, God, dog.
15 strong, baby.
Hey, man.
Don't last that long.
Yeah, man. And we have, okay, for y'all probably checked out episode 1. Y'all seen Mike and y'all seen Julius, man. But me and Smitty got a different type of connection, man, because, man, we actually were born on the same month, same day, same year. Hey, yeah. Man, do you remember how we found out? Like, okay, I don't know if you remember. Okay, so I was in your room and I was telling you about my birthday or something like that. You was like, when is your birthday? And I was like, August 8th. And you was like, you lying.
Yeah.
And then we exchanged.
Yeah,
we exchanged.
I got to see your ID, brother.
Yeah, man. I mean, it was so crazy though, man. But man, that's why we got the nickname Yin and Yang. You know what I'm saying? I'm dark skinned, you light skinned. You know what I'm saying? Given to us by Julius.
That ain't what that is. You got a dark world, I got a light world. That's what that is.
Yeah, man. I mean, but man, we've been hanging tough for a long time, man. I cannot believe, and I said this last week, man, we've been friends for 15 years, man. That is insane. Like, people can't stay friends long, man, people can't stay friends 5 months. You know what I'm saying? Say at least 15 years, man. Man, why you think we stayed friends so long? Like, real talk. What made our bond like so strong, man? Out of the, I guess you can say 6. You got to throw Sam Matthews in that thing too.
I guess when we was in college, we all depended on one another because
Right.
you know, when no parents around, being that you was out of state,
Mm-hmm.
you know, everybody just depended on everybody. Plus, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I was that plug in college.
You definitely was the food plug, man. But the crazy thing about it is, like, it was. I guess our bond. I think I know why our bond was so strong. It was the fact that we didn't go home on the weekends. Like, everybody else went home. It was just me and you. Like, me and you was like the main ones that just stayed there. And man, yeah. Me neither, man. Like, first off, I didn't have a home to go to at the time. You know what I'm saying? Because this was during the time like Hurricane Katrina, man. I came to Jackson State after Katrina, for those that don't know. And it was during the time like my family, they were still looking for somewhere to stay, and we was like staying in between family members and stuff like that. Shouts out to my cousin Brenda, who opened a home to us, man. And she the main reason why I ended up at Jackson State, man. She was on a computer, and she found out that Jackson State was opening the doors to people that was affected by Katrina. That's how I ended up going there. I wouldn't have went to Jackson State if it wasn't for my cousin, man. But I'm glad I did, man. But back to what you were saying, like, you definitely was the food plug, man. Working in a student union, and you used to work at what a cat. No, I wasn't Cash Dining. What was it called?
No, just the calf.
The Calf. Yeah, you were working at Calf, and man, Smitty would always come back with these big supper plates full of like hot wings and stuff like that, and fries. I'm like, man. So, man, you step. Hey, we out of school now. I can say it now.
Hey, they might add some more to my student loan.
Hey, man, nah. Hey, it's over with now, you know what I'm saying? Shoot, grandfather clause is in effect, you know what I'm saying? Like, shoot. Yeah, man, but it was some great times, man. I must admit, man, Jackson State, like, they gave us so many great memories, man. No doubt about that, and friendships that last forever. You know, I mean, we got plenty to talk about in the show, man. I gotta start it off with Kanye West, man. I gotta talk about Kanye, man. Now, I don't know if you heard about Kanye West. He was down here in my neck of the woods where I stay at now, South Carolina. He was out in Charleston, and he was having like some kind of rally, man. And did you hear about this?
I think I saw a little bit about it where he was talking about he about to run for president in 2020.
Right. That's what he was talking about. Well, I'm in the same boat as you because I ain't watch it either, you know, because, I mean, I just feel – I don't want to say I feel bad for Kanye, man, but I'm just kind of tired of Kanye, man. I'm kind of sick of this dude because it seems to me like he's been absent all these different months, and all of a sudden he just comes out of nowhere talking about he running for president. All the while, you got a new album that just came out on Friday, which – I mean, I can't explain. You know, I mean, I just don't. So I just don't get it, man. Like, why do you think that Kanye just does all these different things that he does, man? Do you think it's for attention? Do you think it's a cry for help? What do you think?
Well, I heard that he got a new album coming out. So he might be pulling an August Alsina.
Yeah. Man, don't get me started on that.
Now, I think in a sense, I think we probably just don't look at things the way he look at it, and it causes him to be like an outcast. But I don't think he, because he talk about doing a whole bunch of stuff, and I guess because he's a rapper, and he support the things he does. When he come out and say stuff like he want to run for president, don't nobody really back him up. But back in the day when he said George Bush don't like black people, everybody was like, yeah, that's right. But now, you fast
not so
forward
much.
a few years later, now he done got with Kim Kardashian, and now they say, oh, he all jacked up in the head. But man, if you look at it, man, they actually built a kind of somewhat an empire together.
Right. Well, I think people need to understand a little something, Smitty. they need to understand about the power that the Kardashians possess in the world of media. They own like a huge percentage of the media, man. And a lot of people don't know that a lot of stories they put out about themselves, man, just to keep themselves relevant. Rather it's like bad news, good news. They feel like any news is news. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they put a lot of this stuff in a news cycle and they become the topic of conversation. I just find it very ironic that Kanye West comes out talking about he running for president, spazzing out on social media, all the while you got an album coming out. And you mentioned August Alsina, man. It just seems to me like everybody seems to be on that type of wave. Everybody seems like to want to come out with some type of big news story, you know what I'm saying, to be a part of the news cycle, and then all of a sudden they drop some music. And I just don't get it. Maybe they feel like the world wants to, you know, hear something controversial, and maybe the controversy of have people streaming their music. But me personally, I just feel like Kanye and Kim, this is like a publicity stunt. That's the way I feel about it. Because if you felt this strongly about your wife and all that kind of stuff, he was spazzing out. He said that the movie Get Out was really about him. He said they wrote that movie based on his life.
It's a lot of people out here dealing with, you know, they say that mental illness.
Yeah,
it's a true thing, and like don't live in the type of. I ain't gonna. You might think just because you got money, you ain't got to deal with that stuff, but that man might be dealing with a lot of stuff, and then again, you know, his mom passed away, and he probably ain't dealt with that. You know, it's just a lot of stuff that he probably just been holding back, and that junk could be eating away. He don't know how to deal with it, so he don't know how to express it, and it's just, you know, we looking at him like he's some type of lunatic, but it could be a cry for help.
Right. Man, shouts out to the Truth Hurts. He says, I think Kanye West did it for attention. Me too, man. I just feel like it's about attention. I really do. I feel like, man, and honestly, Smitty, for somebody that suffer with mental illness like myself, man, I suffer with depression and anxiety. I feel like that's a slap in the face, man, because a lot of these people just be doing some off-the-wall, outrageous stuff, and they be like pinning on mental illness, man. I don't feel like that's right. Like, if he really does need some help, like, get yourself some help. Like, and I honestly, if he's out here spazzing out, I blame his wife. Like, because you should know what type of man your husband is or is becoming. You shouldn't want to put him out here in the forefront. I feel like she knows what he's going to do. She knows he's going to spaz out. And she knows, you know what I'm saying, what he's capable of doing. And it's like she does absolutely nothing about it because, you know, the attention that he brings, you know, I just feel like that's the issue. You know what I'm saying? It also brings publicity for her and him. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, any publicity is good publicity to them. So, I mean, that's the way I feel about it. We just lost Smitty for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he'll come back. But, I mean, that's just the truth, man. It's a cry for attention. I mean, this dude did all of these things. Okay, think of the timeline, folks. Now, he was out in Charleston, I think, last Saturday. Okay, I'm recording this right now on a Saturday night. So about a week ago, he was in Charleston, South Carolina, did his rally. All of a sudden, the next day, he's spazzing out on his wife on a Sunday. All of a sudden, he up here talking about, you know what I'm saying, Kim Kardashian talking about she going to file for divorce on a Tuesday. And all the while, his album coming out on Friday, an album in which he tweeted about and he deleted it. Okay, immediately following his rally or something like that. So all I'm saying is, it seems like to me like this is a grab for attention. And I'm tired of people like using mental illness as a scapegoat. Because like I said, man, like if you're not doing anything about your mental illness, if you haven't, then man, shame on you. You know what I'm saying? Like if you know that you need help, you know, like people just try to dangle that, I need some help. I need some help. Well, go get yourself some help. That's all I'm saying. Get yourself some help. Stop trying to blame. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to blame it on your mental illness if you're not trying to do anything about it. And if you really don't have a mental illness, stop using that, man, because a lot of people, it takes a lot of bravery for a person to admit that they actually have a problem and legitimately go out here and get themselves some help. So I feel like, man, it's just a cop out. And man, they need to stop doing it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they are using these stories in order for them to, catapult themselves, rather they trying to sell products or they trying to move some music, whatever. Like it's a shame. It's a damn shame. So that's the way I feel about it, man. Oh yeah, I know you just got to cut off, man. We got Smitty back. I was just saying, man, like I feel like if Kim Kardashian knows Kanye West has these issues, if she knows she's been married to him, I don't know, probably like almost a decade, if I'm not mistaken, your husband. Why is she not? Why is she not protecting him from himself? That's my point. That's what I want to know. Why is she not protecting him?
I think because with them both being celebrities and in the spotlight, normally when couples are, especially them celebrity couples, they got their own thing going on. They really don't have time to tend to one another.
Right.
She got her own thing going. He got his own thing going. Like, who knows what they do once they actually get together. But
right.
I think with them constantly having their own business, and they don't really have time to actually help one another. And that probably be another reason, no support.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like still, man. I mean, if y'all gonna be married, marriage is about, being together, do better for worse, and also, man, protecting each other, man. Like, man, I would hope that if I'm out here, basically, when proverbially with my pants down, okay, if I'm out here looking bad, I would hope that my wife would reel me in and protect me from myself, and vice versa. Like, I'm not going to put my wife in harm's way, and I will hope that she won't put me in harm's way. And I will hope that if she sees me having a problem, that she would, basically have a come to Jesus meeting with me. And I don't feel like that's going on. I feel like she just kind of parades Kanye West out here for her own pleasure. You know what I'm saying? For her own amusement, for her own entertainment. And I'm just not a fan of it. I'm really not. What's going on, Mike? Man, Mike says Kanye needs help. Okay. I think that's pretty obvious. If only if you know what I'm saying, like he really dealing with these issues, man, not just for a publicity stunt. Mike also says clout is one heck of a drug, man. Offer some sales, and his album didn't even come out. So, yeah, I mean, it's sad, man. But people be clout chasing for real, man. Like they do anything for some attention. And Matt, what's going on, man? We got Matt Carlson up in here, man. Matt Carlson, man, out there in Rolling Fork, Mississippi, man. That's around your neck of the woods, Smitty. Got Matt on the show. You know what I'm saying? He up there chiming in the chat. Hey, man, your reception is acting up, Chris. Hey, your reception is acting up, Smitty. Yeah, we just lost Smitty, man. He out there in them woods, man. In them woods, man. You know that you ain't got no reception out there. You know what I'm saying? You gotta move some trees or something like that. You gotta go on top of the houses and move the antenna. Nah, but seriously, man. Man, thank y'all for those that are in the chat, and man, we're gonna try to get Smitty back, man, once he deal with those connection issues. But Kanye West, man, I hope that this isn't just a publicity stunt. I hope that he does try to get some help because, man, I just know personally how it is to be dealing with mental issues, man. I mean, I told a little bit about it on episode 1. Around October. I lost my job, man. I was a store manager at a retail store for like 5 years, man. And all of a sudden, like the retail store went out of business. And man, it was just so dark at that time, man, because I just had a part-time job and wasn't making a bunch of money. And man, I just started to like go out on the deep end, man, because I mean, I had a son and I was like, man, I can't afford to even do some of the things that I need to do for him. And that's my biggest nightmare, man. I never want my son to experience some of the things that I experienced, like, not that I didn't have a good upbringing and stuff like that. My mom did the best that she can, but I never just wanted my son to like, go through like some of the things that I've been through as far as finances. Man, I want to always be able to take care of him. And, my girl, she had to look out for me, man. She had to like do a lot of things that I wish that I could have done because, I mean, I didn't have the funds at the time. So, I just felt like, I just felt like I was just useless. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I was useless. I felt like I was a shell of myself. I felt like, I had nothing to offer. So I started to drink, man. You know what I'm saying? I was drinking and, the only time I felt like, I felt decent at the time is the fact that when I was getting, I was getting inebriated. You know what I'm saying? And it was just one day, I just came in here and I was drunk and, I was talking to my girl or whatever like that, man. I was just saying just some reckless stuff, man. And now I just remember, man, how bad I made her feel. You know what I'm saying? How bad I just made her feel, about some of the stuff that I was saying. And that's when I just realized, man, I really needed some help. And, I reached out, and I went out here and I, got some people I needed to talk to and got myself together, man. And, so I tell people all the time, man, like people be going through things. Like, you don't know what they be going through. I mean, even my friends, man, they'll tell you, like, I really stopped even interacting with them because I feel like I ain't have nothing to offer them. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all talk to each other and we lean on each other and stuff like that. And, I just felt like I was useless, man. And, it took a while for me to get back to the way I was, man. And I remember one night I was just couldn't sleep. And I went to my son's crib, man. I just looked at him, man, and I almost cried. I almost cried, you know what I'm saying? But the thing that didn't, stop me from crying was the fact that I know what I had to do. I know what I had to do. I just want to be a better man, not just for myself, but for him too, man. Because it's not about me anymore. That's what I thought to myself. It's not about me. So, like I said, I just went out here and I got some help, man. I really did. I went out here, got some help, and I dealt with some of these mental issues. And it's not easy. It's a constant, climb to try to get yourself back to where you need to be. But I'm just glad I wasn't what I was, back in the day. So, yeah. Smitty, can you hear me?
Yeah. I hear you. I was having some technical difficulties over here.
It's fine, man. I was just telling that story, man. I was just talking about, saying some of the things that I endured. I'm getting some echo from you, Smitty. You turn it down just a tad bit. Yeah, but
is it still echoing there?
Nah, I don't hear nothing. Nah, but I was just saying, man, like when I was just going through some of these mental issues, what I had, I really, like kind of just lost up with y'all for a while. Which I take that back. You was like the only person that I told. Like you was like the only person that like really knew like how, how bad it was for me at the time. I didn't even share that with the rest of the group. Because like I said, man, it was just rough, man. It was just rough. Like, and like what I was talking about with Kanye, man, like, mental issues, man, that ain't nothing like really to sneeze at, man, because man, people really be going through problems, So, what do you think about that, man? Like, like using different things like mental issues to try to get attention and stuff like that, man. What do you think about that?
I think it's wrong because That way, because you're kind of making fun of the people that actually have them,
Right.
or you're making it where people don't take it as serious.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it is a serious issue because you have a lot of people, especially people that's going through a whole lot of stuff, whether it's drug addiction, bullying, anything that may come up.
Right.
So you don't want to take that stuff lightly, and like you said, sometimes it be the people around us that have it and you don't even know it because you laugh at it, or you don't want to see it,
right.
Or you be like, nah, my family member ain't mentally ill. They just act crazy to get attention, but it could be really something wrong with them.
Yep. I mean, it's the truth, man. Like, I mean, and sometimes, man, it be the people that be happy, like the people that be like the happiest and stuff like that. Every time you see them, they be smiling. You know, they be the ones that be going off the deep end too. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about this. What was the girl named Jazz Fly or something like that? She was like a YouTuber. She was like a motivational speaker. People used to like look to her for advice and stuff like that. And they found out, I think she hung herself in her house, man, like maybe like a couple months ago. So I'm like, you never know what people be going through, man. Like I said, you know, I mean, man, it was rough, man. I can't tell you like how many days like I contemplated suicide. Like real talk, man. Like
I'm gonna tell you, the night you called me.
Yep.
The night you called me and you told me about it, man, that junk shook my world a little bit.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie, man. That it almost had me up all night. Cause I was like, man, I would have never imagined somebody in my circle,
yep.
you know, contemplating it.
Yeah,
and especially coming from one of my closest friends, you know.
Yeah.
And you kind of be at a loss for words. You don't know what to say, but we knew that we had to surround you with love and just show you that, man, hey, ain't nothing better than living life.
Yeah. I mean, it was like, I guess it was like levels to it, man, that added up. I feel like it was just a powder keg, if you will. I think it really, I think I really like truly just kind of went off the deep end. I mean, y'all seen it, you know what I'm saying, in ways. Like, okay, it was like the second Miami trip. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I can date it back to that. Like, it was just so much crazy stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I was like drinking, you know what I'm saying, most of the trip and stuff like that. I felt like, you know what I'm saying, I was just, the more I drank, the angrier I got. And that's when I was like, man, I gotta do something about this. Cause sometimes, you know, people drink, have a good time and stuff like that. But I felt like the more I drank, the angrier I got. And you know what I'm saying? I had like so much anger inside of me and frustration. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just lashing out at people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And I did, you know what I'm saying, try to, you know what I'm saying? When I came back, I did try to get some help and all that kind of stuff. But man, you know how it goes sometimes. Like you talk to people and stuff like that. You're like, okay, I feel great. And then all of a sudden, like you stop doing what you know, dealing with your treatments and stuff like that. And then, like I said, when a job went under and, you know what I'm saying, the store went out of business, that's when, like, I really hit rock bottom, man. Like, really, truly hit rock bottom. It was, like, a real tough time for me. I was, like, man, I was just so, like, man, I was just at my worst. And, like I said, man, mental health is, like, something, like, very, very, you know what I'm saying, serious, man. You can't take that kind of stuff lightly at all. You know, so I mean, anybody out there that's dealing with that stuff, man, just know that you're not alone. You know, you got to lean on your friends and, you know, and friends, man. Check on your homeboys and your homegirls, man. Sometimes the people that be smiling, the ones you got to check on, you know, you got to check on your friends, you know, because I mean, that's why I always reach out to y'all, man. Like for real, like, y'all might be, you know what I'm saying, people might be laughing and stuff like that, being like everything okay, but I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't know what people be going through.
Especially now with all this with this pandemic going on, it's more, I mean, you gotta lock in there and be with each other because there's a lot of people that ain't used to being stuck up in these houses for days at a time and have to deal with the day-to-day living that's really starting to become our norm.
Right.
You know, whoever thought we'd be walking around with masks on our face and scared to have human interaction, and the people that are having human interaction, we looking at them like, man, they crazy.
Right. Ain't that crazy though? That's crazy. Like people looking at people for showing affection. You said I ain't never thought the world would ever get to that point where we're like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, why this person, like you said, man, they crazy, man. They dapping each other up, like they, like they embracing, like it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Man, got my cousin on here, Isaiah, saying what's up, Tim, man. What's going on, man? Appreciate you checking out the video, brother. Mike says evaluation is great, man. I think everyone needs counseling in a way just to express their thoughts on the daily. Mental health is so important in today's world. True that, man. Yeah, it's the truth, man. Like, man, mental health is so important. Like, a lot of people just kind of take it for granted because they just feel like, you know what I'm saying, like if everything cool and all that kind of stuff. But when times get hard and like problems start to occur, man, you got to know how to deal with that stuff. And me personally, I just feel like Black people, they're the ones that really like need to talk about mental health because, man, some of the things that we endured, you know what I'm saying, especially like the older generation and stuff like that, and even some of the younger generation, man, some of the stuff that we seen, some of the things that are going on in this world, I feel like we need to talk and discuss and have conversations about this stuff too. Because, I mean, man, you mess around and be somewhere that lost your mind dealing with some of the stuff that we got going on right now. So, like I said, man, if you need to talk to somebody, please do. If you're thinking about, you know, taking your life, please don't do it. Life is worth living. I mean, you might have a bad day, but there's always tomorrow to make up for that bad day, man. So whatever you're going through out there, just make sure that, you know, you're taking care of yourself. But, you know, Kanye is from Chicago, Chris, you know, and, you know, I was on social media the other day, you know, I came out of retirement, you know, I came out of retirement when talking about social issues. And one thing I was talking about with Chicago, man. Now, Chicago has, as of this is July 11th report. Chicago has 373 murders. That's 97 more than they had in 2019, man. So I posted on Facebook, I posted that Chicago, they need to do something about this issue. And, you know, I thought like, okay, man, you know, people will get on board. People understand where I'm coming from. No. I started to get backlash because a lot of people out here that feel like Chicago really gets talked about on a regular. Now, Smitty, I got to ask you, man, like, are you aware about some of the things that's going on in Chicago?
I heard that they've been having like mass shootings going on in Chicago.
Right.
And just like any other shooting, I mean, you have to get behind it. Right. You know, we got to find a way to lower the statistics or, you know, some type of way to protect the people.
Right.
Because just because you saying, oh, it's Chicago, that don't mean that it's right.
Right.
I mean, you just can't set that standard for your city and say, oh, that's what they do up there. Nah, that ain't what they do. I mean, it ain't the norm, you know.
Right.
If it could happen in Chicago, it could happen in somewhere as simple as where I stay at. You know, if I stay at you know where I stay. I stay in the boonies.
Right.
So,
in the trees.
Yeah, in them trees. So ain't nobody gonna accept it there, so why should it be accepted anywhere else?
Exactly. Look, this is the only thing I was saying, Smitty. I said it's hypocritical for us to be sitting out here talking about police brutality and stuff like that. And me personally, I'm for like relations with the police and stuff like that. I feel like they do need better relationships between police officers and Black and brown people. I stand by that. but I feel like it's extremely hypocritical that we don't put the same type of energy into like Chicago and black on black crimes. I'm going to continue to stand and I'm going to continue to say that. And people act like they can't multitask. Okay, that's my problem. Like people, if you start talking about black on black crime, then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, you deflected." Nah, I can multitask. I'm patting my head and rubbing my stomach at the same time right now. You know why?
I ain't gonna do that.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Like it's simple, but people like act like.
You act like you can't go to one cause and promote another cause.
Yes, that's all I'm saying. People just don't know how to multitask, man, because they're so wired and programmed. You know, like I said, there's a problem in Chicago, and anybody that's saying that there's as much attention on Chicago as it is from Trump wearing a mask or not wearing a mask or who wearing a mask or whatever like that, like who cares? Like there are people that are dying. There was a young child, man, under the age of 10 years old, dying in the streets of Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Like that needs to be the attention. I turn on CNN all the time. I turn on MSNBC, Fox News. I don't see any of this stuff. And the only time that I see it is when people are trying to combat what's going on with police brutality. And I feel like that's a big no-no, okay? If you're trying to use the Chicago issue to deflect on what's going on, that I can't roll with you. But I do feel like people need to pay attention to these issues. And you do have these social media activists out here on Facebook who always want to come into status like mine, but don't put a damn dime into what's going on in society. Like if you're not putting money into any of these causes and you just sitting up here just trying to sound eloquent, I ain't got no time for you. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you're just completely irrelevant. You're just wasting everybody's time. And yeah, you'll probably get a like emoji, a heart emoji, but I ain't rolling with that. I can care less. It is very hypocritical, and I stand by it. If you're not really paying attention and focusing on what's going on in Chicago, if you're not holding the mainstream media accountable for not airing what's going on in Chicago, then I feel like it's shame on you. And anybody that watches the national news or understands like what's going on in the world at large, you understand that they're not paying attention that much to Chicago, man. And
they're not one bit.
Have you seen anything? Like honestly, have you seen anything?
The only way I knew about it was because I think I saw on Facebook one day where they was talking about how the mayor was attacked, talking about she's not doing anything. And she attacked back saying that the president ain't doing anything. And so, and then I saw a video where some people did a drive-by at a funeral.
Right.
I think it said they hurt like 12 people at the funeral.
Right.
And that's sad because, like you say, it shouldn't be the standard and it shouldn't be accepted. Yeah, all Black Lives Matter, but you also want to protect the community and try to uplift the community, and that's what we all need right now.
Yep.
Protection from almost everything nowadays.
Right. I just feel like I said, you have a lot of people out here, they just want to say the right things. And it was this dude, he was like, well, if you not understanding what's going on and you need the national media to bring things to your attention, then like let me make something perfectly clear. The majority of the things that we care about come from the mainstream media. I don't care what anybody says. You can act like it don't matter. You can act like that ain't the truth. That is a fact. The reason why you care as much as you do about Black Lives Matter, about some of these monuments that are being torn down, about the death of George Floyd, is the fact that it's constantly being shown. Anybody knows there's been several individuals, there have been several African Americans that have been gunned down in the streets. It'll get active for about a week. After that week is over, that's it. When the national media started to like really drive home, really talk about, you know what I'm saying, George Floyd, showing it around the clock. I mean, it wasn't a news outlet that you could not see that wasn't covering it. I was watching Undisputed with Skip and Shannon, and they was talking about it. So don't tell me that the national mainstream media does not influence the masses, because they do. And if you don't believe me, go back and look at the 60s, the 1960s, the civil rights movement. Do you think the mainstream media didn't influence how people felt during the time of the civil rights movement? Who you think showed the footage of Birmingham and Montgomery? Who you think showed that footage? Who you think showed it to the entire world? The mainstream media. You would not have had footage of kids getting shoot with fire hoses and attacked with dogs and know about those 4 little girls that were, that blew up in the church. You wouldn't know about any of those things. So don't tell me about the influence of the mainstream media. It don't matter, because I'm about to say it. People don't read. People don't read, bro. People do not read. They're not gonna go out here and try to find evidence for themselves. They don't. They don't read.
The newspaper is kind of becoming an extinct type of medium.
Man, Smitty, I did a little research, and I did a little project. Okay, this is what I did. I put an article on my Facebook page. I put an article up there, and the article was like, it was like Donald Trump doesn't want to, doesn't want to be president or something like that. Like, it was something of that nature, and it read like he doesn't want to be president or something like that if something happened. But it was like something that was in detail, that it was just a comment, but it wasn't saying that he didn't want to be president, but it was in like a certain type of context. And people just started going in, well, if you want to leave, then leave. I'm like, I know for a fact that they didn't read the article. I know for a fact they didn't. But they just look at the headline and they think they know the whole story. And like, so people do not read. Enough of them do not read or do the research in order for them to know what's going on. And some of them will not flex or exercise their power until the mainstream media actually shows them what they need to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate to say it, people brainwashed. People are brainwashed by the mainstream media. The mainstream media influence them. So I feel like if the mainstream media was constantly driving home Chicago like they were driving home, Black Lives Matter as of right now, if they were driving home what happened to George Floyd or Breonna Taylor, all these other people like they've been doing, we wouldn't have these problems. You know what I'm saying? We would be out here in Chicago. And one guy was like, asked me, do I live in Chicago? I don't need to live in Chicago to know that it's effed up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I can just look at the analytics. The analytics tell me that there's a problem. So he was like, you're not on the ground. I know he was going to go with it. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I'm not on the ground and I don't care. Right? I don't have to be on the ground to know that 373 people are dead in 2020 in Chicago as of July 11th. And that's a shame. And it needs to be fixed. It's a problem.
Right.
And it's no time for social media activists, man, because I'm tired of y'all. I'm tired of social media activists, Smitty. I am. I'm tired of people that just want to sound good and just want to win arguments. And people can't talk no more. Like, people don't know how to talk. People don't know how to talk to get information. Like,
or have a respectable conversation where you could. No, the thing is, people don't like you to disagree with them.
Yes.
We done came into this world where if you disagree with me, I don't have to respect your opinion.
Right.
I mean, people just have to learn how to respect each other's opinion, and sometimes you have to open up your eyes to the person and understand like why they think that way.
Right.
Or, I mean, you don't have to believe in what they're saying, but at least take a chance or take the time out to understand where that person is coming from.
Right.
And try to talk it out. Maybe y'all can come to a medium, but people don't want to do that. They just be like, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm gonna just stay with what I know.
Right. I mean, it's the truth, man. And you want to know why they act the way they do, and you want to know why the world has come to this. It's because of the power of the split screen. Exactly what we're doing right now. You got debate shows. You got like political shows, and what do? They put one person on one side that agree with something. They put another person on the other side that don't agree with it, and they let those people go toe to toe, and they let you be the middleman, and you pick what side you on.
Right.
And you know, whatever they saying, like at the end, somebody like, well, man, they got them. They got them. It's about competition. And people doing a whole bunch of talking, but ain't getting like nothing done, not trying to see nobody point of view. When somebody backed them into a corner and slapped them across the face with the truth, they maneuvering or hitting somebody with a low blow. They'll say something like, well, you voted for such and such back in 2016. Who gives a damn? Who cares? If a person is telling you something that is true and factual, give them their props. What is wrong with that? People talk just to want to win an argument. They do it for validation. They do it for clicks. They do it for likes. They do it for follows. And this is
because it's easier to accept. It's easier to accept a lie than it is to accept the truth.
Exactly. Exactly. People argue up and down about a cause or issue that they know absolutely nothing about. They are putting like no money into it. They are putting no time, no effort, no nothing. But you would think that they know everything there is to know about that topic. Like I said, that's one of the reasons, bro. Like I really don't just get into debates anymore, man. When I was talking and addressing this issue, I got off. I'm like, thank you very much for reminding me why I don't have debates on social media anymore. I'm just being honest, because I reached a level in my life, Smitty, where I want to talk to people where I can gain information. I can leave the conversation a better person than I was when I first got into it. And I feel like that is a lost art, man. Taking the time out to understand a person, understand what they feel. I'm telling you, man, as a broadcaster, as a radio personality, man, I would interview somebody that was in a Ku Klux Klan, bro. Like I'm dead serious. I would interview the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. You know what I'm saying? I would let him sit up there and talk everything that he wanted to say. But you know what, Smitty? I may not agree with him at the end of the day, but I understand where he stands, and I know from that conversation that probably ain't the guy I want to be around. But
did you hear about that one guy that sat down with the Grand Wizard, and eventually he made the Grand Wizard leave the Klan, and he done made about over, I think it was like over 40 people turn their robes in, and all he did was sit down. I mean, he actually has a book, and him and the former Klan master are actually best friends. He used to bring the guy to the Ku Klux Klan meeting and everything.
Wow.
And the black guy. And now he go around. I mean, I forgot his name, but you could look him up. He done wrote a book about it, with him and the Klan member shaking hands and all that stuff.
Wow. And
it all took was them to sit down and talk to each other. He used to go to the man's house and everything. And like, but they started listening to each other rather than talking towards each other. And that's all it takes, is for us to just actually start talking and listening to one another.
Yeah. I mean, that reminds me of that movie that I watched with Taraji P. Henson in it. And she was it took place like in North Carolina, and she ended up befriending a guy that was a member of the Ku Klux Klan. And because they was like on the same committee, they were trying to vote on like if they was going to integrate a school, because the black school in North Carolina ended up getting burnt down for some reason. And he ended up like being the last vote to decide like if the school going to get integrated. And he decided to vote for the school being integrated. And he had to end up like leaving a Klan and stuff like that. But in the process, man, they became like real good friends. They traveled the world, and you know what I'm saying, like basically telling their story. So I mean, all that happened with just having conversations and stuff like that, and seeing that. I mean, look, we share the same world. We may just have different colors, you know what I'm saying? Like, but we still are the same people, you know what I'm saying? We still bleed the same blood. And you have a lot of people out here who are open to have these conversations. And then you got these people out here that are closed-minded. They don't, they just want to feel the way that they do. They want to believe the way that they want to believe, and they don't want to open themselves up to any type of conversation, like you said. And it's sad. And and I hate to say it like this, but some of us black people are being the same way. Like, we don't want to open ourselves up to have conversations. We don't want to open ourselves up to have like conversations to see how a person feels. Like, we're so hell bent on trying to prove to the world something. Like, we got to stop doing that, people. Black people, we got to stop doing that, man. We always feel like we got to prove something to somebody. Like, anytime we got to get in the room, like we got to change our voice and want to sound all articulate and whatnot. And like, we got to prove something to somebody. Like, me and you, we both college educated. I never feel like at this stage of my life, I got to prove something to anybody. Like, if I'm talking to you, I'm going to talk to you the same way I'm talking to you right now. I don't feel like I got to change up anything in order for me to, like, win you over. I don't. Like, what about you? Do you do that? Like, like if you walk in a room, be like, "Hi, I'm Christopher Smith."
Man, as country as I am, I couldn't do that if I tried.
I can't do it, man. It's like, for me,
it don't matter where I go. I know where I go. Hi, my name is Christopher Smith. Man, I rarely can say my name properly. I know I ain't gonna try to sit there in the studio and come for something. Man, I can't do it. I'm just saying.
The crazy thing about it is, like, my girl clowns me, like, when I'm on the air, because she said I sound like three different people. She said when I'm doing my sports show, I sound different. When I'm on the air during the day, I'm different. Like, I don't think so, man. I feel like when you're on the air, you want to make sure that you're, enunciating your words and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? The right way. You want to
right.
make sure you're doing that so people can.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie. You sound different on that air now.
Yeah, I mean, but it's because I'm trying to.
But I know why. I know why. It's you gotta appeal to the audience. And,
exactly.
You can't be out here just talking reckless on the radio.
Yeah, I can't be like, man, look here, bro, 90.9. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that. So, I do have to, like, project and, you know what I'm saying, and make sure that people, you know what I'm saying, I'm being effective. You know what I'm saying? So I do sound different on the air to a certain extent, but it's not to a point where I'm like, I'm just doing this because I want people to know how dignified I am. I don't care about that stuff. I feel like, man, why are we still trying to prove something? Like, if you got a college degree, like, why you got to prove it to everybody? You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got to prove anything to anybody. Like, I get it. Like, if you're in a meeting or something like that, you don't want to be up in there like you about to talk to your homeboys or something like that, like y'all hooping or something. But I do feel like we put this added pressure on us as people that isn't necessarily necessary. I just don't. Like, and I feel like that comes from insecurities. And, because I feel like a lot of people, deal with insecurities on a regular. And, they try to, make themselves out to be more than what they are. Or they try to make, like, get people to, I guess, like, love them and respect them. But that's not going to help. If a person don't like you or they not valuing you as a person, like, I mean, it's up to them to change that. But it's very little that you can do if a person, looks at you in that way. I mean, that's just the way I feel about it. But I ain't trying to be fake for nobody. I'm not trying to be fake for nobody. I ain't trying to sit up here and be trying to, I mean, I'm just me, and I feel like being genuine and being true, that's what's going to get you where you need to be. Like, I feel like when I was first doing this podcast, I feel like I wasn't happy doing it because I knew it wasn't me. I was just doing it because I feel like that's what people wanted to see. And until, like, I realized that, this is what I want to do and I'm passionate about it and I love it, that's when I'm starting to have fun doing it, But, I mean, I just feel like that all comes from, just loving yourself and stuff like that. Self-love is very, very important. That's something that we all have to, push towards, loving ourselves, man. What do you think about self-love, Smitty? You know, what do you think about people loving themselves, bro?
Man, I think that's a wonderful thing, especially when it comes to self-care. You know, sometimes we could be out here and we could be catering to other people so much that we forget to cater to ourselves.
Right.
You know, who's going to take care of the caretaker? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you just have to start with knowing that you accept yourself for who you are.
Right.
And you have to be willing to have the people around you accept you for who you are. Otherwise, you around the wrong people.
Exactly. You know, I mean, I was thinking about this, Smitty, like you just said that. That reminded me of something my mom used to say. She said, you know, when you find somebody, she was like, love them with everything you have. She was like, love them with all your heart. She's like, but in the process of all that loving, she's like, save a little love for yourself. She said, always do something for yourself. You know, even if, you know, you pay all your bills and all you have left is some money for an 89-cent candy bar. She's like, do something for yourself. Do something, you know, to show yourself that you appreciate yourself. Because, I mean, that's what, you know, happens in a lot of relationships, man. A lot of people, you know what I'm saying, they be so happy that they found the person. They so happy, you know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, like, they just spend most of their time trying to make that person happy. And then, like, time goes on, you look in the mirror and be like, man, who the hell am I? You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened? You know, like, so it's very important for you to love yourself. You know, I mean, you have to love yourself, man, because, I mean, you never know. Like, you never know. Like, you might be in a relationship with a person, thinking this person, man, you know, looking in their eyes, man, I never leave you. Then that person end up dipping up out the door. And then what you gonna do? You know, like, what you gonna do then? You know, I mean, if you gave all of the love that you had for, you know what I'm saying, yourself, you gave to that person, what you gonna do then? So it's very important for you to love yourself, man. I mean, relationship, that's important, right? I mean, I'm just saying. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, so I just want to, you know, let that be known before we get up out of here, man. Thank y'all very much for checking out the Unapologetic Podcast, episode 2. I want to thank my homeboy Smitty for being a part of episode 2, man. Hey, you missed out last week, so you forgiven. You know what I'm saying? we had a good show last week, though, man. You know, but I'm glad.
Man, I hate I missed it.
Yeah, man, but I'm glad you was a part of it on this edition, man. But I want to let everybody know you can subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com, search The Unapologetic Podcast. Also, facebook.com, search Unapologetic Podcast. And check out the audio version. It's on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and on iTunes. So once again, thank y'all very much. Thanks, Smitty. And like always, all I got to say is,
we go.